What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I want to go over the Switch 2 because since June 5th, it has officially marked a year since it's been out. And a lot of people are making videos about this, so this is mine. This is my turn to make a video on this. And yeah, and real quick, most people, would be like, okay, well, how are the exclusives within its first year? I want to save the exclusive part of the video to the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Don't worry, it will come. Let's dive into it. First off, it's an amazing console, and I am just having so much fun with it. It's by far my favorite console of all time. I haven't played like a ton of consoles, but it is my favorite. And this is it. This is the wonderful Switch 2. Personally, I have Minecraft grips on it, and yeah, this is it. This is mine. This is the console that I play. Here it is. It's wonderful and amazing. Great games, runs good, and it's just brought me a lot of joy. We have to get into the power of the console, and is it worth it? First off, yes, it is worth it. Second off, this thing is extremely powerful. One of my most popular videos is just talking about how this thing is insanely good. And yeah, it's technically not as good as a PS5, but there's so many other good things about it where who cares, honestly. And like, I have so much bias when I say this, so take it with a grain of salt, but like, I would so pick this thing any day over a PS5 because it's wonderful. Like, you gotta understand the pros of it, for not being technically as powerful as a PS5 are you can play the thing handheld easily. You can just slide it out of your dock like I am right now. It's very easy. Another thing is the exclusives are insane. You have such a large library, even the Switch 1 library. You gotta understand, like, everyone with the Switch 2 talks about, well, how are the Switch 2 games? And yes, that is a good point, and you should talk about that, but you still have the entire library of the Switch 1. We're sitting there, and the Switch 1 and 2 are the only ways to play that. So, you have just an ungodly amount of exclusives, technically. Also, it is still really powerful, and there are definitely times where you can literally mix up the PS5 and Switch 2. So yes, technically it's not as good as the PS5, but it is so close, it's insane. Also, the way it's insane is with AI upscaling, which Nintendo trademarked, meaning that this console's the only way you'll get it. Basically, AI upscaling literally just makes it where games look 10 times better. And the third-party support, because this is insane. I have some games here that are third-party and run insanely well on the Switch 2. I mean, I'll go through them fast, but Final Fantasy VII, I don't know if you played this game, but it looks incredible. I mean, absolutely stunning. Does it run great? No, I mean, like, there's some frame dips. I'm not done with the game, by the way, but there are some frame dips, but in exchange, you have an incredibly looking game. This game is like so insane, you can just tell by how many gigabytes it takes up. 90 gigabytes. It is my largest game on the console because of 90 gigabytes. It's insanely good. Another great game, and this game, Cyberpunk 2077, is like one of my favorite games of all time. Like, in my top 3. So you should definitely play it. It is a good game, but also, like, it runs so well, and for a while, it was the best looking game on the Switch 2, hands down. Just because of how incredibly good it looked. And, like, it was so early on in the Switch 2 when it, like, came out. Like, it was day one there. And, like, it was, like, the big, like, wow, this thing is impressive. So, technically, a lot of other games I'm showing you look and run better. But it does kind of mean a little bit more because it was just one of the first. Another great game here, Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this one, actually, compared to these others I'm showing you, isn't technically crazy good. But this game, I feel like, does the opposite of Final Fantasy VII. Some of the graphics kind of struggle a little, and there's a lot of blurry stuff, but it kind of exchanges that for an insanely good frame rate. Yes, it's 30 frames per second, which you might be like, why are you calling that really good? Sometimes it dips up, and in, like, a good way, like, not like a bad way where it's up and down all the time. And though it's so steady at the same time. It's like jumps up sometimes, and is very steady. So it's just so steady and smooth that's like, you can really tell that even a 30 FPS game feels like it's running like at 60. And this game, Resident Evil Requiem, is the best looking game on the console. Just is. It looks the best. Capcom, if you've ever heard of them, they love this thing. They use it all the time. Recently, a Code Veronica remake, Resident Evil wise, got announced and will release in 2027, and it's coming to the console, and I expect it to look as good as this. Resident Evil 8 and 7 look extremely good as well. Side note, Resident Evil 9 and 8 are in my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I absolutely love them. I talk about them all the time on this channel. But, again, best looking game on the console, and that's saying something. It is really saying something. Another Capcom game, because they just love this thing, is Pragmata. There it is. Great game. It runs well and looks well. Resident Evil 9, technically, I think, stays in, 30 FPS. But this one, a new game is just, it's crazy to think that Nintendo is now getting the new AAA third-party games, just like any other console. I mean, all these just run so incredibly well. It is insane. I gotta mention again, this console has just straight up brought me an undescribable amount of joy. I love it, and it's fun, and it's great. And it makes me happy, and I love it. Yeah, I teased it at the beginning of this video. You're probably ready for this part of the video, talking about the exclusives. Now, me being only 15, I don't have every single one. I cannot afford every single exclusive like some of the other big YouTubers. Okay? But I have got several, and I'm going to be talking about all the exclusives. So, Mario Kart World, I have played, and it is good. It's a really good game, but it's very limiting on how you can play it, and that's the big issue. I'm not going to dive crazy into Mario Kart World, but long story short, it is definitely worth a pickup if you have the console. You're probably going to, because it is the next Mario Kart. The only problem with the game really is the price. It's not worth $80. I do think you should get it, but if you are really strict on money, then you shouldn't, I guess. But, I mean, it's a good game, so don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Unless you're curious in other people's opinions, then yeah, let them tell you otherwise. So, honestly, it's probably in, the top 3 best exclusives, Mario Kart World. So, that says something. Then, you have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which came out a month later, and it's a great game. Great game. Quick disclaimer, though, is the, fact that it's not as good as people say. In my opinion, I did not like Donkey Kong Bonanza as much as most people. Again, it's weird to say that I don't really like it that much, even though I do. My point is, I don't like it as much as most people. Most people would give this game, a 95, probably, when for me, it's more of, an 85. So, you gotta understand, really good game in my opinion, I do think it is a really good game, but I think it also still, even though it's a really good game, it still gets way too much credit. It's an okay game, it's not bad, it's okay. So, that's my opinion on the game. And next, we have Kirby Air Riders, which I haven't played. But it's kind of an odd one, where it's very niche. The racing is nothing like Mario Kart World. It's very technical, and if you are into very technical racing, you would love it. It nails its job perfectly. But that's not for most people. So that's, if you like that kind of racing, you'd love it. If you don't, you would probably hate it. But also, around the same time as Kirby Air Riders, we got such a good game. Most people don't like this game, but I do. And this is just a controversial opinion. People say this game's meh, it has terrible characters, but I disagree. I think its characters are fun, and I liked more story. I have not played Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, so I don't know, I haven't compared it to that, just because I haven't played it. But I love this one. It brought me, the only reason I like this is because I had so much fun. Also, the cutscenes were just so awesome. And it had so much good story to Tears of the Kingdom. So, honestly, just, I love this game so much for some reason. This game brought me a surprisingly large amount of joy. Another game that I have not played is Metroid Prime 4. I honestly just didn't play it because I really don't like playing games that I haven't played the other games in that series, just picking one game up out of a series. And the fact that 3 and 4 are really not that accessible on the console, I just didn't pick it up because of that. So, take all my opinions with a grain of salt, because I haven't played it. And, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'd like it. You might be like, most people, this isn't really a good game. Are you sure you'd like it? Well, you gotta understand, understand that the reason people don't like it is because they called it a Prime game, and it was supposed to be like the other Prime games, except it wasn't like the other Prime games. It was linear, which isn't Metroid Prime at all, and it was just, the reason people like it is because they basically lied and said it's going to be a Prime game, and it was nothing like Prime games. But like classic Metroid Prime games, that style of gameplay, those Metroidvanias, I honestly don't like as much. I prefer this style. So, I do understand people wanting it to be like the original, like true fans do, but like, I'm not into that style, so they kind of went in a weird way where I think I actually would like the game. Also, it's very similar to Halo, and I like Halo, so I feel like I'd like it, even though I can so understand why most people wouldn't. Moving on to the next game, Pokemon Pokopia. Right here. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's amazing. Honestly, like, exclusive Switch 2 games, it's probably, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Pokopia, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Those are, like, my top 3, but Donkey Kong Bonanza is kind of just barely there. It's like Mario Kart World or Bonanza. I don't know. This is a great game. Everyone agrees. It is an extremely good game. It got at least a 90 on Metacritic, which is saying something. It is technically the highest rated Pokemon game, which is also saying something, and it's wonderful. And that's really all I have to say. It perfectly fits my interests, which really helps me love it. I know most people love it, but it really fits my interests. Long story short, the game is if you combine Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon. I love Minecraft and Pokemon, and I think I would love Animal Crossing if I ever play it. And it's like, okay, Minecraft, Pokemon, and Animal Crossing, except and everything you do in the game is freedom. Like, go and just build and have fun and do whatever you want with the Pokemon that you love. And that's just why the game is great. And it fits my interests perfectly. So, another reason I love it. And we have to talk about the Switch 2 editions. Now, I have a few Switch 2 editions. And, yeah. So Tears Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. I have Tears Kingdom physically and digitally. I upgraded my digital version to the Switch 2 version. It runs so good. Loading times are great. I recommend it so much. It's literally only $10 for an insane, like, it runs so well. So it's a good Switch 2 edition, and it's pretty simple. Like, I don't mind when they're like, hey, pay a couple bucks, and it'll just run better. That makes sense to me. That sounds good. And there are a lot of Switch 2 editions. There's Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition. I have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but I have 2 Switch 1s, and the Switch 1 that I transferred to my Switch 2 was not the one that had Kirby and the Forgotten Land on. Long story short, I don't have a Switch 2 edition, but I do have Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And most people kind of say it's meh because it's just kind of lame. At least that's what I hear, so I don't really know. Dragon Drive and Welcome Tour. I think I would like Welcome Tour, even though most people didn't. Drag and Drive, another one I think I would like, and was planning on getting, but decided not to because not having NSO kind of is a bummer for the game. And other Switch 2 additions are Pokemon Legends ZA and Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It's a very long title. And first off, Metroid Prime 4, that technically was a Switch 2 edition. But yeah, ZA is technically a Switch 2 edition, even though it's basically a Switch 2 game. If you play it on the console, it feels like it. Besides the looks and graphics, which are terrible. That's literally my only flaw of the game, because it is my favorite Pokemon game of all time. Yes, I like ZA more than Pokemon Pokopia. That is an unpopular opinion. So, But, I mean, so, Switch 2 edition-wise, I mean, like, it's like Tears Kingdom Breath of the Wild. It just runs fantastically. And then this one, I loved, and most people didn't. So, this Switch 2 edition, people were like, this kind of sucks. And I don't think it sucks, and I actually loved it a lot, and I had a lot of fun, because, the only reason I love this is because of the minigames. The minigames are so good that it adds. Like, they are just amazing minigames. That's why I love it. So, yeah, those are all the exclusives, and my opinions on them. I think the console's worth it, but since most people care about the exclusives, there's basically what they are, and you can decide if it's worth it for yourself. I will say there is a $50 price increase coming to the console. Be prepared for that, but it is still worth it at $500. And buy it before the price increase. Just do that. It'll be so much more simpler. Well, we're nearing the end of this video. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you loved it. I did. I just got to talk about stuff I liked, which of course makes me happy. Peace out, everyone.